Now it's the solstice of the year. Winter is a grand song that you hear. 7 days moon, 7 time. Gather let the pray in the light. Rain now is back. Ring out, ring solstice bells. Ring solstice bells.
Welcome. Our next game we're going to play is normally called Town Hall. We're calling it North Pole Meeting, so it feels holiday-y. I tried my best with the names, guys. I really did. So we get our random generator on out. Is going to be discussing the issue of vandalism, which is very real, but I swear that's what it says. So the town hall meeting is now in session, and we'll hear from any citizens who have any points on vandalism they'd like to bring up. Yeah, with the Hanukkah background.
Hi, my name's Richie. Yeah, thanks. Like the Greatest. I'm not gonna say that I do vandalism, but I believe that it is a very noble cause, because regardless of what you're gonna set in stone, those kids out there, those kids, not like me, but those kids are gonna go and they're gonna vandalize, and it's gonna be nasty. So you want other people to vandalize over it and make it even better, and everyone's happy.
Oh, that's a great point. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else have anything they want to? Yeah, in the red sweater.
Hey there. Yeah, I'm Dan, red sweater. I'm on the same sort of vibe there. I've been looking to start my career as a post-vandal vandalist. To really, you want to vandalize the vandalism, and it sort of is a double negative situation, and it fixes things. And also, if anyone knows where my dog is, let me know. I don't know where my dog is.
Definitely, yeah. No, we can look for the dog. We'll have a meeting right after this one is done. We'll talk about that. Anyone else? Anyone against Van? Yeah, right there with the wiggling fingers.
Yeah, I'm George, and I just gotta say, this vandalism is getting old. I'm too old to have to get up and have to find where all this vandalism, because then I have to call the police, and I'm getting too old to have to touch my own dog, and these vandals, they're ruining everything. Like, I've worked too hard to have these vandals just walking up, acting like they own the place.
No, a lot of us have definitely felt so old that we can't touch our door. That's a real serious issue. Yeah.
Hello. I feel very similarly, my name is Grandma Mumsy, and my grandchildren come every winter, and I make the most beautiful paintings. It's my one joy, and my grandchildren come with their little crayons and their little nasty fingers, and they just ruin it. So I'd really appreciate it if y'all would arrest them, and that would be great. So thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I'll write that down. We think vandals should be arrested. Great. Anyone else have any thoughts on vandalism? Yeah.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. My name is Depot Home. I'm actually, you might know me. I have a couple of stores. I don't need to go into it, but my name is Depot Home. Maybe you can figure out. It doesn't matter. But my business actually relies on spray paint sales, and maybe vandalism is maybe good to the people who sell spray paint every now and then. So something to think about, because a lot of people like to sell stuff, have a life. So that's all.
No, that's fantastic. If there's anyone else, then yep.
Well, I think we have to inspire the creativity in these youngsters, and if vandalism is the way to go to get them to express their inner creativity, I think we have to do that.
All right, definitely. Did we have another one down here with the dreidels? Yeah.
Hi, Depot Home. I've seen you on the blogs, but I'm Rayola Craw, and I think that it should be very structured vandalism. We can teach it in schools, And if we do it that way, we can give them all washable paints and washable crayons and everything. And then the city can keep on going and it'll be great.
Thank you. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. So this meeting is closed. We'll get back to you. Of course, as you know, these results won't be finalized for a little while, but we'll get back to you as soon as they are. All right. We are now going to play the game of slow as molasses, because I think molasses is something related with the holidays. I am going to go on a limb there, and it's also slow. I've heard that expression before. The way it's going to work is Josh and Andy, they are both going to be our fabulous commentators, and Rowan is going to be our fabulous slice of life actor. The activity that they are going to be doing, however, is they are going to be giving someone a massage. That's the activity, massaging. And we're going to see that happen as Josh and Andy give us some fabulous commentating on this day in the life of a masseuse. Players, are you guys all ready?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Take it away.
Well, Josh, we're back again at Massage Envy. How are you feeling today, my friend?
I mean, it's great. We get to sit here. We get to spend this whole time getting paid to just talk about massaging.
It's our favorite thing to do, and we are happy to do it. It's a big day today. It's actually the national finals for masseusery.
Well,
You know what that means, Josh?
We've got these two fantastic competitors. We've
Mhm.
got Rowan over here, who's national championship, trying to defend their crown. And then we've got the startup, who just goes by masseuse. And it's going to be an excellent show. We're just going to have to see what happens.
Masseuse v. Rowan, it's going to be huge. Rowan is clearly prepping right now. They're dipping their fingers in the sauce that they are known to use during the massages. Now, the sauce, Josh, do you know anything about this sauce? Because I'm not even sure.
It's nobody really understands it, but they're defending champions, so it must be working. Though I've heard some rumors that they actually use barbecue sauce. And that way, they get all the meat eaters to go to their massage.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. And they're really dipping in there. They're going for a second layer of sauce, and they're going straight for the shoulders now. And it seems like they've got some spare skin on the fingers when you look at that.
It's crazy. Now we'll see. This is just an excellent competition. Oh, those shoulders doing good. Looks like they're just taking off an early lead.
Oh, Rowan is definitely coming in hot now in the lead, pushing the shoulder blades to the side, which is actually an interesting technique. You push the shoulder blades, and then you make the bones hurt, and that is good. Oh, now look at that, Josh. They're using their fingers to go all the way into the belly button, which is actually a pressure point, and it actually makes you better at basketball. So it's actually a very nice and smart thing for a masseuse to do. It's very good. It's just a crazy game.
Oh, they've definitely taken the lead here. They have been unstoppable lately.
Unbelievable. Oh, more sauce. Laying in more sauce right to left hand. And you know that's interesting because they're ambidextrous, so it's quite impressive to watch this go down. Holy heck. Now, Josh, this reminds me of a couple years ago. Do you remember when Startup had their first game? They used this similar technique with the grinding of the gears.
Yeah, it's a shame they had that injury to end their career, but that was just a career. It was amazing. They started off fast. They were by far the best in the world of their time.
It was super fast, and then it was really only one season. But Rowan is still going in hot. Oh, going for the hair. We've moved to a hair massage of sorts. Got a strand. Oh, now, Josh, this is interesting. It's become a haircut.
Nope, I've heard this is where she really pulls into the lead.
Gosh. Masseuse turned barber turned stylist. What a national champ.
And that's time. Congratulations. Thank you all very, very much. Perfect. All right. All right, for our next game, we're going to play a little game of Elf Vice. The way it's going to work is we have 3 lovely contestants who are on our advice show. I'm then going to go over to Yahoo Questions and read some of the training questions to them, and they're going to answer them. P.S. There's a few of them that we'll be skipping, so there's that. So let's jump right into it. Hello, everyone. I'm Matt, and welcome to Elf Vice. We have 3 panelists with us today. Panelist number 1 in the headphones, would you please, in the bigger headphones, would you please introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I'm George. I live in a small town, and we haven't got much. We've got a McDonald's and a school, but we're doing all right.
Welcome. Nice to have you, George. And then with the dreidels behind you, panelist number 2, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. I am Mordecai. This is my big time of year. I'm really busy. My whole business is just dreidel molding and candle forming and the wax and everything. And it's finally got some people coming in. Got some excitement in my life.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Mordecai. It's great to have you. And panelist number 3.
Hey everybody, my name's Pantha, brother of Santa, but no one really remembers me, so it's good to be here.
Oh, and welcome, Pantha. We have the whole pantheon, it seems, of people. Our first question is a little bit long, but here we go. Would this be a kind gesture, or is it creepy / stalkerish? And here's the story. And this actually is legit a question on here from Anonymous. It says, I wish to mail my former coworker a Christmas card. Her whereabouts today are unknown. She's an older lady and does not use social media. Otherwise, I'd reach out to her online. How appropriate would it be for me to Google her residential address and mail her the card? Or do you think that would creep her out? Panelist number 1.
Well, I think you've really got to simplify. And maybe you could deliver the card at work or something, because I've heard some rumors about like a pandemic thing, but we're a small town. We don't get much news. So I don't really know. I think you could just drive it in there and deliver it.
All right, sure. So not that creepy at all? In fact, show up. Yeah. Panelist number 2.
I don't know all that much about the newfangled technology, but my grandchildren help me out, so I bet they can help you out. And I think it's a kind gesture. You know, in my day, we wouldn't get out of touch with anyone. You know, we're just always be in contact. But the handwritten letters, that's the way to go. And I think that is a good move. Just researching and no, it's not a stalker.
No, and you shouldn't have lost touch to begin with. I agree. Good point. Panelist number 3.
Yeah, I mean, I can really only speak from my own experience, but I have a lot of estranged family members being of the Claus family, and usually what I do is you sort of set up some milk and stuff near the chimney, and then they'll show up there, and then if you're like mad at them is what it sort of seems, I would set sort of like a bear trap of sorts, and that'll capture them as they get the milk, they'll be excited, and then they're sort of trapped there, and then you can deal with that in the morning.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. There's some good advice. This one is also anonymous. It's a little longer. Here we go. The question first. If a man is not willing to commute to you when you drove hours to see him, and then it just ends, which isn't a full question, but here's the story. Would you give up on him? For 6 months, I drove 2 hours to see this guy and saw him once a week at least. He put low effort, and I'm getting sick of it. He doesn't deserve me. I asked if he's willing to drive to me. He originally said yes. Then he said he's out of gas. I told him how I drove to see him and spent a lot on refueling my gas. He later said how he meant he was mentally out of gas because he was studying. He's 34. If he's not going to commute to me, should I just dump him? I don't want to be treated like this. I feel hurt.
Well,
One.
driving for 6 months. Whew! I don't know how that car's still working, but I gotta say, like, you just gotta simplify everything. So, like, it depends. Like, if there's like a McDonald's on the way, because that's really the only place you can get food from what I've been told. I think you gotta make the drive anyway. So, like, there's nothing to lose. But if the McDonald's on the other side of town, it's really time to just move on.
Yeah, find some fast food. I agree. That kind of answers the question. Panelist number 2.
Sweetheart, I think it all depends on what your parents think about this here young lad. You know, if they picked him out for you, you gotta make it work, you know, that's just the way that life is. But yeah, I'd hope that if I was your parent, I would not approve of this low-level effort from this weird chump. And so I hope that, you know, your parents don't, and you should just dump him and find someone new.
Excellent. Santa's brother.
Yeah. How old? They said 34.
34 is what the post says. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm 34 and I've been in a very, very incredibly similar situation on the side of where I was the villain. And so I guess my answer would be since that was, it's probably about me. So my answer is move on. Try to move on. Yeah, try to move on.
No, it's impressive that you got someone to drive all the way out to the North Pole to see you that once a week.
When you have a famous family, man, people do things. Yeah.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
hate here.
I'm really alone though. Yeah.
Anonymous one. It says, do you think that it's rude for people to just stare at other people? I think it's rude. There's a guy that has a crush on me and just stares at me a lot. I just think it's weird to constantly stare at someone and make them uncomfortable, crush or not. And if anyone stares at me, I'm just thinking, what are you staring at? So is it okay to stare at someone? Panelist number one?
Well, I mean, like, what else are you gonna do? Like, if you had like some magic box that showed images, like maybe, but that's not gonna work. So I think like you need some entertainment. You just stare at them, you simplify, you stare at someone else, then you all stare at each other. It all works out.
Yeah, just stare at everyone. If everyone's staring, then it's not awkward. It's just the norm. Yeah. Mordecai.
My recommendation, yeah, I've had some similar situations, is to just wear very clothing without any lettering or images, because I've stared at many a person for too long because my eyesight's going out, and I'm just trying to see what their cool shirt says, but it's a little awkward. So just don't advertise.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Blame her. That sounds fantastic. Panelist number three.
So usually this happens to me all the time. People looking at me because I'm, look famous and very, very cute. So what you do is you say, may you please close your eyes? And they usually say, no, I'm like have somewhere to go. I need them open. And then you sort of take your two fingers and you just shut their eyes. And then you say, if you don't do this next time, I know where your family lives. And they get the idea from there.
Yeah, I think that's winning advice right there. We do have time for one more question, and here it is, also from Anonymous. It's a little harder to understand, but here we go. Would you protect your coworker? If you heard coworkers saying something negative about a coworker, would you protect that coworker by not repeating the negative utterance, even if you didn't like them that much? So you hear a coworker say something mean about another coworker, would you just go tell the coworker the mean thing that was said, or would you keep your mouth shut? I won't judge, even though I think there's an obvious answer to this. Panelist number one.
Well, I mean, like, back in my little town, you don't really have a problem because there's like two jobs. Like, you can work at McDonald's at the front, or you can work the back of McDonald's. But like, if you've got to have this issue, if you don't really like them, like, first, who's giving out the free meals at McDonald's? Because like, if you can't get a job at McDonald's, you can't do that. But if you have coworkers doing it, it's like, if they give you free food, yeah. And it really depends. While you may not like the guy who said the negative thing, do you like the other person? Because if you don't like them, just leave it be. And if you like them, like, it's a long walk. So.
Excellent. Mordecai.
I agree that it's pretty complicated. You have different routes you can take. Now I work in a one-person business myself, and so I've never run into this kind of issue. But I'd say live your life as an honest person, and if that means that you have to relay some information, don't gossip, but to tell it back to the person it's about, that might be what's best for them in that situation, so that everyone can live as an honest person.
I love it. Santa's bro.
Yeah, can you repeat just like the first part of the question?
Yeah. would you protect your coworker?
No. No. Yeah, you could have stopped right there. Why would I do that? They're not me.
Yeah, no. All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much, panelists. It was enlightening, to say the least. All right, for our next game, we're going to play the game of questions. The way it's going to work, we're going to do a two-person scene. You can only ask questions. When someone breaks that rule, then they will be eliminated and replaced by the third person. So it'll be a very short game of questions, but it will have an ultimate winner. And that's what the holidays are really about. Oh, and this game does have a holiday name. I forgot to read all of them, even though I thought of them. This game is called Family Dinner, because when you meet your family for the holidays, it's just a bunch of questions that you don't have a good answer for. So to start with, let's do some Josh and Rowan. So I'm going to give y'all the first category, and your suggestion is going to be candlestick. And you can begin whenever you're ready.
Have you seen the latest candlestick?
Was it in the Target store?
What color is it?
Is this what you're wanting for Hanukkah this year, son?
Would you buy it for me?
Would you pay me back when you're old and I'm old?
Can I afford that?
Will you go to law school?
Would they take me?
Do you think you could start studying hard this semester?
Isn't that a lot of work?
Did we raise you to not want to do work?
Did you raise me right?
Oh, that's the same question as did we raise you not to do a lot of work, because raising someone right means that. So unfortunately, Josh, you are outsy, and that means that it's Rowan and Andy for the final. And your suggestion is cockatoo. And whoever wants to start may do so.
Is this your pet store?
Are you looking for the Johnny's Good Pets shop?
Where are the Johnny birds?
Are you well equipped and trained to own a bird, my friend?
Have you ever been to the forest on a midnight stroll? Come on.
Did we meet in high school?
Becky?
Jonathan?
Oh, do you remember homeroom in the second floor?
Was that Mr. Johnson's class?
Where was Mrs. Jackson's class?
Did she have a bird too?
Oh, was it the teacher who had the toucan in the closet during the class?
Is that what inspired you for today?
Where would I be without high school and birds? And you, Becky?
I relate.
Where would I be?
I am so honored, Jonathan.
No, unfortunately, being honored is not a question. And sometimes it's questionable who we honor, but it is not an actual question. Good job. Congratulations. Andy is the champion, proving that with age comes your ability to ask more questions, I think, is all we've learned here today.
I don't know any answers.
But we think we do earlier on.